What's up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of the Comeback Couples Podcast. I'm your host, Mark Jennison, with
Kendra Jennison.
The coolest, Kendra, the cool one.
Oh my God, that's perfect.
That's the coolest. We've said this before, and I'll say it again because if I tell you every single day, like how cool you are.
Yeah, but you got to really mean it.
So how would you know if I didn't mean it, or if I meant it or didn't mean it? Like, how would you even be able to know?
I would know these things.
So I know you can't.
I would know.
No.
Yes, I would.
What's the topic today?
Topic today is...
Yo, you didn't do your homework, did you?
I did. I forgot what you had.
I text you. No, so this is what I want to talk about today because I figured this is something good. I don't know. I just want to talk about it. I don't give a shit. So I felt like talking about it. But talking about how physical fitness creates more connection and power inside of your relationship.
Yes.
Right? So how does being physically fit or being physically fit together or doing fitness together create more connection inside of and power inside of your relationship? And I thought we'd come at it from, different angles, from like what it does for your mindset, what it does for you individually, what it does for me, what it does for us as a couple, what it does for the business, what it does for the kids. Like there's just a lot of...
It's a fantastic topic and so necessary.
Yeah, and I know you really enjoy talking about fitness specifically right now because I know you're on a quest to, like the past couple of months we talked about, or we didn't talk about, I talk about inside my crazy head, but like I'd see you like deciding to get in better shape and like as you're in front of the camera more and we're building the company and going to these different places and the house in Florida and wearing a bikini and like you're like, I just want to be fit and absolutely should. You're
more fit.
Yeah, more fit, right? Like, but when I say fit, like the fittest you can be, whatever that looks like. I'm doing some air quotes for those guys over here. But you want to be the most physically fit that you can be. And I think it's really cool because you're afforded and awarded that life to be able to go do it, right? Like, I know what you do, but I don't know what you do all day. Like, hey, I'm getting a massage, or hey, I'm going to hot yoga, or I'm going to go do legs, or I'm going to go for a run, or I'm going to do like...
I usually text you after my workworkouts and say, I look absolutely shredded or I crushed it.
or a picture of you flexing, right? Like,
yeah.
That's what you like to do.
It's a real soulmate relationship, you guys.
Speaking of soulmate, when Jade last night told you that what's a soulmate, she says.
It was so cute. She has a little 10-year-old boyfriend.
She does have a little fling.
And what's so cute is they truly have like just connected ever since first grade. And now they're in fourth grade. And I know it's just whatever. And it's just cute and it's harmless. And they're like, oh, we're partners when we play dodgeball or whatever, but they do. They just like found each other and it's so cute.
That actually fits right in. And that's an interesting thought. Like, I didn't plan on talking that, but like their whole little relationship is built off of like athletics.
Sports, athletics. Mm-hmm.
Right? Athletics and sports. Cause he's like, very athletic guy, and she's like very athletic girl, and like the attraction that you get. So we're not going to talk about kids, right? Yeah. I'm anti
Jade having a boyfriend ever.
Yeah, or just don't like talking about kids because I like to take care of kids and protect kids. I think kids are sacred beings in this world, so I don't like to talk too much about it. However, in our life, sorry, Ryan, I just got hot there on the mic. In our life, I want to talk about how physical fitness. I mean, where did you first notice me?
In the gym. Yeah, hands down, physical fitness has been the number one reason how we even got together. Saw you in the gym, you saw me in the gym, two people who totally didn't know each other from hell or high water, and I was like, oh man, this is like the strongest, most angry looking guy in the gym. I'm swooned.
The red beast.
The red beast.
Just for you guys out there that listen, that is what my family likes to call me, the red beast, because I get sunburned red or I get red in the face and I'm mad, I'm big, and in the pool, that's what they decided to nickname me.
So it's a very loving nickname. But yeah, immediately that was how our relationship kind of kindled and it started. And it's by far my favorite thing that we do together is, if I could choose any date, it would truly be probably somewhere tropical and lifting together, or doing some sort of physical activity together. Like there to me is no better date than doing something physically active and fun in the heat with you.
Yeah, which we do all the time. We were just in Florida, right?
Yep.
I worked out a little bit by the pool. You worked out a little bit by the pool. But honestly, this past trip, we spent a lot of time just resting and relaxing because...
Yeah. It's also necessary.
Yeah, going and where I'm at, going through some changes inside of my world and my mind and stuff like that. I needed some peace and quiet, but we still went for walks as a family
every night.
Every day. So some of the people, other people that are my friends that are influencers, if you will, or have audiences, they like to do their exercises separate.
Sure.
Right? So like, it's like their time. It's part of their routine and things like that. What's your take on that?
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that both partners individually should be reaching towards a healthier mindset, physical body. I don't think there's anything wrong with doing it separately. Like, hey, you go to the gym at 5 a.m. I'm not going at 5 a.m. You do your thing. You take what you need to fill your cup. Get your mental clarity, get your physical strength. I'm going to go around 9:30, you know. I just, as long as you were both working, filling your own cup, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah, no, definitely nothing wrong with it. But I don't think, so I'm of the different camp, right? Mm-hmm. I would prefer to work out together.
I love working out together.
Because, I mean, my schedule is not conducive to doing it. Like but you also 5 a.m. to fucking.
You also have to remember we are two fitness people. So when you and I lift together, I can do what most people would consider like manly bro lifts. I enjoy it. I like being strong. A lot of women, it's an intimidating place to go into the gym.
It's not just, I'll give it back to you in a second, but it's not just, that's all things in our life, sure. Right? Like it's from the first time we were in the Bahamas, we first started dating, we were having running races through the deep sand.
Yeah.
Like competing against each other.
Yeah.
Right. Like it's just one of the things for us is always like, which was, I was interested in was the competitiveness. I talked about it on the call we did the other day. Just the competitive nature that you have inside you was kind of what helped us build the company as well. Because I'm like, if I am a timid little mouse and don't go after my goals, I'm like,
will not work.
Yeah. But like, you didn't even know your goals were possible, which is, we're not going to go to that topic, but I saw like, you play soccer, you're going to be the best at soccer. You're going to work out. You're going to try to do the workouts the best that you can do. You're going to, everything you do. But go back to what you're saying.
But I was just saying, in terms of like a lot of husband and wives don't want to work out together. One, you know, it could be a multitude of things, jobs, schedules, you know, whatever. But it can be an intimidating place, especially for people who are not in shape. And it maybe the wife is in shape and the husband's not. And he's like, oh, damn, you know, I don't want to embarrass myself in front of my wife. I can't even lift this. Or the wife is like, I don't want to be embarrassed when my husband's like this super sexy fit guy and I'm just not. And it can be intimidating, can be scary. But the best thing that you can do, hands down, is just start your journey no matter what. It has done a multitude of amazing things in our life. In terms of growth, physical attraction, it pours over into our kids. It keeps our cups full. Yeah. It's hands down one of the most important things that you need to make a priority in your relationship and in your life. It's
actually a standard in our relationship. I want to say 100%. Something though, because you painted a picture in my mind of a guy. Because a lot of the wives, especially guys that I work with, they award their wives the ability to go to, same as you, right? Like, not all of them work. They get to go to the gym whenever they want, and they're not drinking. They're not, you know, some ladies get overweight, but more often than not, a lot of the guys' wives are like doing things for themselves throughout the day. That's part of their life. But from a guy's standpoint, I've never, I mean, am I the strongest dude and the biggest dude? No. Can I hold my own? I don't know. I've worked at many gyms, right? And my lifts are always strong, always one of the stronger dudes in the gym, no matter any way you want to look at it, just have good strength. I've never looked at another dude doing less and be like, oh, that guy's weak.
Never.
Right. So I just wanted, like, if someone's listening out there that's so stopping you from going to the gym, like, dude, I'm like, hey, how can I help this guy? If I've done many times like, oh man, here, you should try this just a little bit better, you know? So I want to touch base on that, because if that's what's stopping you, bro, like,
do not let it. It's not a thing. It really is not.
Yeah. And I'm not a fitness influencer. That's not what I'm about. Fitness is just a core value inside of our life and our relationship. So I want to get into the topic of it today. How has, in your opinion, putting together this lifestyle with fitness being at the center, seeing as that we met at the gym and then the kids also met each other at the gym, and from our Phoenix, Jade, and Bailey are all very, very competitive by nature, and they're all in their own right very good at sports, right? And academics.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, Phoenix just got a
texted us after
second place in out of 90 at academic bowl or whatever the hell it is. I don't know. We don't pay attention to that, but how has the impact of like the power couple what would it look like if I didn't take care of myself? Mm-hmm. Like, what if all I cared about was money?
Well, here's what I know to be true, and I've made many posts about it before, is that it doesn't matter how successful you are, it doesn't matter how much money you make, it doesn't matter. It means nothing if you don't have your health. And your family, no matter how wealthy, how successful, how amazing, if you're not taking care of yourself, your family doesn't deserve the lazier secondhand version of yourself. And so you can try to flip it and switch it any way you want, but not taking care of yourself physically, mentally, putting the right foods in your body, not prioritizing being healthy as you can is selfish in so many ways. And so many people may not understand, like, oh, what do you mean? It's selfish to go and take care of yourself. It's selfish to, no, it's not. It's the exact opposite. Because when you are taking care of yourself and you're filling your cup and you're prioritizing being healthy, being right, physically, mentally, spiritually, and that is what health and fitness does for you. When my cup is full and I am healthy and I am happy, I pour all of that over into my family, sure. Right? So many people get it ass backwards in where they're like, oh, my family comes first. I got to take care of this first, my health and myself, it becomes last. And then you wonder why you're aggravated, why you're unhealthy, why you're unhappy, why you're short fused. You're not happy, you're not healthy, you're not taking care of yourself. You cannot pour from an empty cup no matter how much you want to. Take care of yourself, prioritize your health, prioritize your fitness, put yourself first, and then allow everything else to pour over into your family.
Now we went through, part of my message is not part of it, all of it is like, stop fucking lying, do what's right for you. And what's interesting for me personally, since this is our podcast, like I stepped out and did that from day one, long before I had you, yet over time I was collecting arrows in my back and the weight of others to the point where I still thought I was taking care of myself, yet I was taking care of everybody else. And my mind was tricking me on things. But one thing that's been constant inside of everything I've done was the gym. My diet might not have always been perfect and my stress levels were obviously through the fucking roof, right? Mm-hmm. But I never, ever, ever missed the gym. Even if it was just it's almost like the consistency of being there mattered more than what I did while I was there, which I'm not saying is right.
Yep.
But had I not at least done that, because you've seen me before get out of my routine. If I'm 3-4 days out, or if we're on the trip, like I have to fucking move. I have to do some action. I have to do some activity. Yep. Otherwise I'm like, I'm not mean to anybody, but I'm also not nice to myself.
You're not nice. You're 100% correct. Yeah. I can fully say that the gym, lifting in general, completely saved and changed my life. There's so many, and people, it sounds kind of silly to say, but you don't get it unless you get it, and what I mean by that is so many people turn to, food or all these other obsessive, where they try to mask why they're so unhappy, doing things that make them more unhappy, right? Yep. And so I can't even remember, that must have been when I was in high school when I really started lifting, and it was just boys were in the weight room, so I was in the weight room type of deal, But I actually started lifting seriously when I was in Afghanistan. They had like this tent and it was a tiny ass gym, and I just remember it being my saving grace and my only outlet, from everything that was happening. And had I not lifted and had I not poured, I'm very obsessive about it, immediately, but poured all my attention and energy and my frustrations and my guilt and fear. Oh my gosh. I put all of that into lifting, and it just made me feel so much better. I mean, as good as I could in certain situations, or when my dad died or when Jeff died, instead of drinking and feeling sorry for myself, I just remember having these like rage lifts in the gym, or where I would just run and I would literally just like sprint on the treadmill, and I would just stare and I would just go and just lose myself completely in obsessive ways over like health and fitness. And it saved me. It 100% saved me from going down nasty, toxic, seduced or, ways where I would have like crushed myself, sure. I guess. I didn't turn to drinking. I didn't turn to all these things. I just lifted. And I know that's not some like like rah, you should just lift and it'll save your life type of deal. But
it can be
it truly can be.
It can be like in my journey. Well, there's a picture I could pull up. I don't know if we could show it on here, but in my journey of my life, there's always been one constant, which has been the weights. And that's from the time I'm 17 years old, right? Like the iron, I know it sounds like cliche as fuck, but the iron has no memory, just like the mirror has no memory. Right. Every day you get up, you get to look at it and you get to become who you want to be, and you get to pour as much energy and effort and intensity into it as you want. You get to determine how much work you put into it and the results you get out of it. It's really ultimately on you. However, you use... I know I want to get back to talking how it makes us a power couple here in a second, but like you ran from drugs or drinking or sedation and you just went into fitness.
I did.
Fitness just became an additive to the fuel of me drinking and using drugs and steroids.
Right.
Right? Like we could look at the picture and it was fucking I know you don't think it's very attractive, but like the veins in my arms were like that big. You remember, like you see those? Like,
I remember, yeah.
Like I just looked fucking massive and was shredded. I show it to my actual real fitness friends. Like I show them the pictures, like, damn, dude, what were you on? I said I was on everything. But for me, like I would literally I would drink, I would eat clean, eat perfect, take steroids, drink, do heroin, take pills, and like somehow just work out all the time. Like,
yeah.
But I realized that when I was in, I'm like, dude, this thing here, it's not about destroying it. Like you've got to actually use this to build you up. Yeah. And I would say even like 2 days ago, I just said, man, I really have a real shitty relationship with food.
You do.
And this is why I want to get onto like what we're doing together now and how it's impacted our life and the connection and the commitments and the conversations we have. A lot of our talk in our house is about 3 things: business, right? Fitness and kids.
Yep. Like what are our kids doing?
I guess the 4th thing is like travel and
where are we going?
It's all of us. Like, but those 3 things are the constants inside of our life. But I looked at it and I said, man, I really got a shitty relationship with food, because even though I know how to do it, like I know how to track, I know everything that needs to be done. I've done it over and over and over. I've got these like blocks inside of me that are like, yeah, I'm just not going to eat today.
Yeah. I think it's important for people to speak openly and freely about those things, about their relationship with food, about their relationship with their body, about what it means to really love yourself. And I think that for both of us, finding health and fitness, yes, it was an outlet for us in different parts of our life. And now it's an outlet just of our standard in our life. But what's really important is for husbands and wives to understand that it can be so amazing in what it does for your confidence in yourself and in your partner. And there's no negatives about it. I can just talk forever about it.
I struggle with body dysmorphia.
Yep.
Right. So we're going to talk about some of the, like, maybe people know it, maybe they don't. I've mentioned it many times. I look in the mirror, I see a fucking, either a guy that's entirely too small, has no muscles, fat, disgusting. I never have ever, even when I look at pictures of myself absolutely shredded, never see what probably you see. Yeah. And I'm okay with it, right?
Well, you've accepted it.
I've accepted it. It's very hard. I've realized, like, for me, I'm like, I'm not going to spend a ton of time thinking about this. I got other more important things. I don't want to focus on the negative. I want to focus on building and having a good life. But it doesn't mean that there's not times that it doesn't make me feel like as powerful or as confident as I can be. And because you know the work that I'm doing, and because what you're doing to help me and support me and aid me, which right now you're doing all my food, right? You're tracking the numbers off of, like, Josiah's gave us numbers, and then I
do it for you.
Yeah, you're doing everything for me. So all I have to do is plug it in is eat. And I just have to tell myself every day, like, just follow this, just follow this, just follow this.
Trust the process.
Just trust the process. It's going to be done. But what has combining this into our life being a standard and a must and something we do every day, how has it helped us in our connection, would you say? What has it done for you? Even though, like, I seemingly have a lot of issues in life, right? We all know that. I'm very vocal about it. But you still find me absolutely attractive. Like,
obsessed with you, for sure.
even though I have all those fucking things wrong with me. What has it done for you just to be able to know that connection piece we have? Like, you're like, hey, baby, you want to go for a run? Hey, you want to go for a walk? Hey, you want to go for a lift? And more often than not, if I have time, I'm like, fuck yeah.
Yeah. It's absolutely my favorite part of our relationship. There is no question about it. Knowing that we can do anything because we are physically healthy and mentally, well, you're sometimes mentally okay, but for the most part, being physically active, there's such a proud, like there is a reason why I love to show you my progress, or that I take pictures and I send them to you flexing, or I tell you that I crushed the gym, and I love it when you do it for me too, because I'm so proud. It makes me feel proud, and you're my biggest supporter in that. And there's just no limits to what we can or can't do in our life. And for a lot of people, that's not the case. So many people can't have that connection because, the husband is too afraid to get on a surfboard because he looks fat, or the wife doesn't want to get in a bikini because she doesn't look like a supermodel, and it's really important I just made a video about it today. It's really important for wives or girls or men to understand that the smallest version, the leanest version of yourself is not always the happiest or healthiest, right? So I said, as long as you prioritize eating whole foods, you're prioritizing staying hydrated, and you're prioritizing sleep, you will feel so good. If every day you are waking up, you're exercising, you're putting good thoughts and good intentions, and you're doing things that genuinely make you feel good, eventually it comes all to fruition. It's just part of your life. I can genuinely say every single day, and not every single day do I feel like lifting or exercising. I do it because it's part of my life, and I know it's going to make me feel good, sure, even on the days I don't want to do it. But it's just a non-negotiable, and once things become a non-negotiable in your life and you realize that it makes you feel good, you don't give a shit if you're 210 pounds or if you're 185, like those 15, you know what I mean?
Sure.
And it's really important for people to understand it's not about what you look like. Sometimes it is, because, fitness world, you have a certain standard. Sometimes you're like, oh, I want to reach this physique. But more oftentimes than not, it's about how it makes you feel. And I think that's what's really important for people to hear about, is when you and I do fitness, or we exercise together and we're sweating and we're laughing and we're being competitive and playful, unmatched, it is like euphoric in every way for us.
Literally, it leads into sex.
And we know that, but because you look good, and I love the way you look and your muscles, and you love the way that I look, and we're, like I said, it's competitive, it's playful, and we're just two people who are continuously on this growth of just being the best version of ourselves is so attractive. Right? And you can't put a number on that. You can't say, the best version of myself is going to be 110 pounds, right? Because that's not true for me, because I know what that requires. And the best version of yourself isn't going to be 175 pounds, because I know that's not true for you. And I think that's where people get it mixed up when they are like, oh, health and fitness, power couples, oh, you guys just want to be like two fucking IFBB pros on a stage. It's like, bro, that's not it at all. It's a standard in our life. We want to take care of ourselves. We want to put it into our kids, and it does, right? I mean, it showed on the way we vacation. Our kids genuinely get excited when we go new places, because they know, oh, I can't wait to go work out at this gym with mom and dad, or I can't wait to walk on this. I can't wait to go for a run on this beach. This is what we've instilled in our children.
Yeah, they're memories that we're making on all on all the trips and everything we do is not of them sitting on their phones.
No. Or oh my gosh, some of the best memories that our kids have is of active activity, or, oh, we went kayaking here. Remember, that was so awesome. Or when we took this hike on Camelback and it was so hard and it was awesome. These are the memories that we are instilling and creating in our kids. And it's just, whether that's right or wrong, it's just how we operate, and that is because physical fitness and health is a priority in our relationship. Pours over into everything that we do.
Do you think, and I'm just asking a lot of questions because I know you are very adamant about fitness every day. It's a huge
fitness.
You
and
think
whole
about
foods.
fitness and food and taking care of your family and us the way that I think about every day building my business,
yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So, do you think that there's been the fitness, I know the answer, but what do you think the impact has been on the business and building it by us being physically fit together?
It's from
energetic levels,
I was going to say the evidence is astronomical. You know, it's people in general don't want to listen to somebody, or people, you and I are not going to want to tune in or listen to people if we're not seemingly healthy and fit and have it all together. It just doesn't work that way. And I don't make the rules. Society makes those rules. You know, you don't want to sit and listen.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to get back to, I don't know that's true. I think people would like to listen to me all the time because I fucking am crazy. And I tell them like,
I think people genuinely love authenticity and they love real. And that for sure people love. And I know that's missing in a lot of today's culture and society when it comes to it. But just from the business standpoint, being physically fit and being healthy and being sharp mentally, it's done everything for the business.
I don't think I would be able to handle the downslides, right? Like the bad seasons in business, even though it's been difficult or it was like some of those seasons were very difficult. I don't know that I would have been able to have the mental wherewithal to continue down the path that I was on had I not had the standard and discipline at home with you and the motivation, push, and inspiration to know. And mine is directly connected from one thing, right? Like, even though I might not look at myself the way that you look at yourself, or that I look at, I might not look at myself the way that you look at me. I know you're looking at me, therefore I don't want to look like a fucking schlub.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And obviously through the winter I get heavier, and then the summer I get leaner just from outside and things like that. And I could manage the diet, and you're always trying to feed me cookies in the winter. But like, one of the motivation driving factors behind the revenue in the company, building the movement, having the energy is directly connected to the time that we could spend working out together or working out when we're apart. I know we haven't been able to do that together the way we want to do it, but leading into that 1-2 hours of the day where we work out together, have sex, have lunch, right? Like those, when I can fit those things into my fucking day, my results are bigger.
It's like your best day ever when those happen.
It is. I mean, it is. Yeah. And
they all go hand in hand.
I wish it could be every day.
Sure.
Right. But that's not how it always works.
Right.
But it
will eventually once our lives
when there's free flow
schedule out. Yeah.
Or there's free flow to the life. But I mean, we're years away from that. But, and that's another thing, right? Talking about the optimization of performance over 20, 30, 40 years, right? Like, so my mindset, you're 11 years younger than me, but I'm at 42 and I'm like, yo, dude, you're still young and you're in all these pains. You need to start looking at your life because you need to be able to, like, I want to be 70, 75, 80 years old. I still want to be fit.
Yep. You will.
I still want to be I still want to be building and grinding, and maybe not grinding, but I still want to be building something, right? And because I'm a builder with my hands or my heart or whatever it is, I still want to be able to, like, I don't want to be, my wife's 11 years under that I haven't had sex with her in 20 years because I can't see my fucking dick.
Right.
I haven't seen my dick since fucking 2024.
I think it's a really sad reality for a lot of people who get older too. That they just accept, like, oh, I'm 50, I'm 60, I've got to be in some sort of blood thinner, blood pressure medication, you know, and the reality is that's all reversible if you just eat well and exercise consistently.
That's a whole nother topic.
It's a whole other topic, but I was just, you were saying, you know, as you get older and you want to be fit and healthy, and I know we will. I know it's done wonders for our life. It's done wonders for our kids. And I just would never have it any other way.
So I'm going to tie it back before we hop off here to, like, my perfect world is to be able to do it together.
Yep.
Right? I think that gives us a certain level of power.
It does.
It gives me some
I love
drive.
when you push me in the gym. I love that you always are like, a little heavier, Kendra, one more rep, and you're just like in my ear screaming for me to do it, and vice versa. You know, there's just, it's hands down my favorite thing.
Because what I like about it though is it's motivating and driving factor to actually be living the life that I'm trying to create in real time. Right. Yeah. And so it's something inside of my goals as the couple, as the leader of this thing that I try to inspire to get. And we have not been able to hit it right now. We're on we cut staff. I'm back doing a lot of the things. We're actually in a great spot right now overall, the company. People are happy. Teams are happy. But like, my time is fucking, it's like, okay, I'll give you a kiss in the morning and then I'll see you at 9 o'clock.
Dinner.
It's dinner and then it's 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Right. Where I'm dog tired. You're already ready reading your book. And I'm like, okay, I'm climbing to bed right now, and then I'm fucking asleep because I'm working so many hours again. But my point is, with all this is that there's still a divine connection inside of being able to do the work with one another, having a standard deeply rooted and instilled in fucking health and wellness.
Yes.
And I think the people listening to this right now, I mean, there's probably some single ladies that are going to listen to this thing. I know there's quite a few ladies that listen to you or to us, but ultimately to you on TikTok. Like, great spot to find a dude that's not a loser is the gym. However,
great spot.
Right. However, at the same time, also know the majority of the dudes that went into the gym are operating in the gym from a place of like, they're kind of fucked up because they're lacking confidence. So they want to be big and they want to be strong. So you're going to have some mental, you're going to have to unwind some shit with a lot of dudes, right? The reality is most people don't start working out because they feel great about themselves.
It's true. What's funny though is when you start working on yourself and you start becoming the better version of yourself,
then it just
happens, right? Like I wasn't looking for you. You weren't looking for me. We were two people busting ass in the gym. I was sweaty, looking like a tomboy per usual, like I always do. And it was just like, damn, like that girl's strong. Damn, that guy's hot. He's strong, you know, and it works. And it'll work when you least expect it. Usually when you're working on yourself and you're staying focused and you're doing what you need to do because it makes you feel good.
Yeah. And we do a lot of talk about the gym, right? We do a lot of talk about this gym.
We're just gym bros.
Yeah. It can be as simple as grabbing your wife's hand.
Going for a walk.
And going for a walk after dinner. For
riding bikes together.
20 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever the fuck it takes, right? Like just doing something physically fit together, that transmutation of that energy and that reciprocation of just love and just connection literally can put you on a path of power together.
Yes.
Or you can just completely avoid it and sit and fucking eat your Hungry Man Lunchables, dinner, or whatever your wife made you and just fucking be a sow. Like it doesn't fucking matter. If I'm me in my life, I like to try to connect through action and activity.
And that we do through fitness a lot of the time.
Through fitness. That's it for today's episode of the Comeback Couples podcast. My hope for you today, my call to action for you today is to get out, get moving, grab your wife, grab your kids, take some action, move yourself to have a better day, become your most elite version of yourself possible, build a relationship where you can call one another a power couple, and continue to thrive. You guys win the day.